Hey, what's up guys? Joe Davis here from Right Way Home Solutions. In today's video, we're going to cover a topic that I get asked all the time. Anytime I'm out somewhere and they ask me what I do for a living and I tell them I wholesale real estate, probably the most common question is, how much money can you make in wholesaling real estate, right? So wholesaling real estate can be very lucrative. You see all these gurus out there, all these YouTubers promoting the fact that they made these huge checks, these $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 checks, sometimes even higher. And really this video is to break down the reality of it and the truthfulness of it. Everything we're doing here at Right Way University is to be very open and transparent and give you real numbers and the real truth behind wholesaling real estate and real estate in general. So the question of how much money can I make in real estate, it's a very logical question, right? If someone is trying to make that jump and invest their time in it, they want to know how much money they're getting. The problem is that that's a very open-ended question, right? So there's so many variables that you have to take into account on how much money you can make. And realistically, what I would tell every single person getting into wholesaling is that wholesaling is not your end goal. Your end goal is to be an investor. So newsflash, if you're just a wholesaler, you're not really an investor. You are living from paycheck to paycheck essentially, right? They can be big paychecks, but every time you do a deal, that property is gone. That property is sold, you've got your money from it, you're moving on to the next. So it's essential to have wholesaling is really kind of the gateway into your investing career. By doing wholesaling, you're going to be immersed in real estate. You're going to understand every aspect because you're selling real estate to buyers who are at that stage of their investment career that they're probably holding on and building their portfolio. They're doing flips to reinvest that money. The only way that you're investing into real estate is if you're holding on to that real estate, right? As it's appreciating, you're building up your portfolio. If you are just going from one fee to another fee, it's really just it's a temporary thing. You're building it up, right? If you become incapacitated and can't do that anymore, that level of cash flow stops. So how much money can I make? It's really open-ended. How much money or how much time can you devote into wholesaling real estate? That's going to be the number one factor into how much money you can make. Everyone here at Right Way, we do this full time. So there's other factors you're going to take into account when you're saying you're doing it full time, right? You want to have as much knowledge as possible. You want to have as many leads as possible to be able to generate those big paychecks. Most of those guys out there who are flashing those big paychecks, they didn't just start in wholesaling, right? They had a lot to learn. All of these videos that we're covering, they would know these topics. They've failed many, many times. I see a multitude of wholesalers fail. And in actuality, I would say 90 to 99% of all new wholesalers, they do fail because it takes a certain character. It takes a certain amount of diligence, perseverance. You really have to build your relationships, and the most important thing is you have to stay consistent in what you're doing. Here at Right Way, we really teach that you are living off the smaller fees, right? Those $5,000 fees, those $10,000 fees. In fact, we did a check on the last 100 properties of what we did in 2020, and our average fee was $8,500, right? So that is scaling the big fees to the smaller fees. You are going to have a little bit of a trade-off. If you're in a market that's much higher end, you're probably going to be doing less deals, but for a bigger fee and a lower, I wouldn't say lower income, but a lower price point market, you're probably going to have more deals, but a smaller fee. So there is different variables that are into place. How good you are learning the aspect of building rapport with homeowners, what to say to homeowners, building the knowledge behind talking to sellers, right? This all plays a huge role in how much money you're going to make into real estate. But the most important thing to understand is that it can be very lucrative. It is the number one business when you hear the saying of you get out what you put in. That to real estate is to a T. Whether you are a realtor or you're going on the investment side and a wholesaler, it's all about how much are you willing to dictate to this? How much time and how much effort, and am I doing this full time? So when I go back to it again, I'm always going to say the two most important terms in wholesaling real estate are relationships and consistency. You really have to have those down to really formulate a career and start making those big paychecks to be able to invest those yourself personally, right? Use wholesaling as the gateway. It's something you should never stop, because not every property is going to work for you as an investor. You're still going to be wanting to get rid of some of the ones that you have under contract, right? If you're not going to close them and hold them as rentals yourself. So wholesaling is something that you always want to have in your arsenal and always want to be doing, but your end goal is really to become a true investor and be keeping some of these properties for yourself. In terms of putting a finite number on what you're going to make, it's very difficult to do because everybody is very different. Some people are much more versed in having the sales technique. That's a huge thing that you're really going to have to get to grips with and improve on. You need to be able to know how to navigate through every situation. The first way that you're going to be able to do that is to just have all the knowledge possible. You need to know wholesaling real estate inside out. You need to know ARVs and comps inside out. You need to know how to properly evaluate a repair. You need to learn some of the tricks of the trade that we've learned over time, such as letting the seller give you their number first, right? You never want to throw out your number before you've had a chance to find out what they're looking for, what their motivation, their price is, what their timeline for selling it is. The condition is going to be pretty obvious. You need to learn these things to really be able to implement them. But here at Rightway, we try to set ourselves a goal that you should be buying once you get this knowledge, right? It shouldn't take long, especially with all the content out there in today's age. Shouldn't be long before you're buying 3 properties a month minimum, okay? Your goal really should be to be able to financially start investing is about that $20,000 a month range, right? If you're making $20,000 a month, you're going to be able to invest into real estate pretty healthily, okay? Another aspect we're going to touch on in some other videos is you want to stay frugal. You want to really learn the difference between an asset and a liability. When I speak to most real estate investors, the number one book they've read is by Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Poor Dad. We are going to be making that a requirement to read before you start with Rightway because it's such an important aspect. So what we are doing in wholesale real estate is we are the quintessential middleman, right? We are pairing the buyer to the property, right? The seller. And we are selling a product. We are selling a product that you must be passionate about. You have to believe into that product. And if you do believe into that product, that's going to be conveyed. That's going to be conveyed to the seller that we're genuinely providing them a benefit, and also to the buyer that we're giving them a good product, right? We're giving them a good deal. So you need to understand that inside out. And then at that point, when you are selling at least a minimum of, or buying and contracting at least a minimum of 3 properties and making a good chunk of change every month, that's when you understand the product. You can step in, you can start buying, and you can start building up your generational wealth, right? Your portfolio. We're also going to cover in another video what we call our freedom number. And if you ever wanted to retire on real estate, how you can work that backwards, how you can say, I need X amount of money to live on every single month so I don't have to work a boring 9-to-5 job in corporate America. How many properties do I need to get that, right? So when you are evaluating how much money can I make in real estate, you need to have those numbers in hand and have very defined and set goals. All of our guys here at Rightway, we tell them every single day, if you do want to be making those big checks, you need to be consistent. You need to have a to-do list. You need to find out what works for you, and you need to be doing that consistently every day. So these are the factors that play into the question of how much money I can make in real estate. There is no defined number on there. Anyone who tells you there is just flat out lying. It's all about how much money or how much time and effort that you put in as to how much money you're going to extract on a monthly basis. So stay consistent, get that to-do list, learn all of this content as much as possible, rewatch our Rightway training videos over and over, listen to example phone calls, read sales tactics books, right? As acquisitions, you're not essentially going out there and selling something, but what you are selling is our ability to be able to resolve their situation of a burdensome property, right? They have a property which is either aesthetically or financially distressed, And what you're selling to them is the ability to be able to move forward with that deal with professionalism and confidence. We live in a competitive industry. Everybody wants to go out there and they want to buy these deeply discounted properties. What sets you above the competitors, right? Why should they choose you to buy their house over the other 4 or 5 investors that might have come and made an offer on their property, right? So these are all factors to determine how much money you're going to make. But rest assured that wholesaling in general can be very lucrative. It can be very enjoyable. You can be helping that seller out, and you can be building yourself up to be well geared to build your own portfolio and start generational wealth. So it's a great career. If you are watching this video as a new member of Right Way, we're over the moon to have you on board and really to see your progress. We would like to see you making those big checks. We would like to see you learning how to invest personally in real estate. And we're just happy to have you on for the ride. If you're watching this as a newbie wholesaler anywhere else in America, for us to tell you exactly how much money you're gonna make is an impossible feat, because there's wholesalers out there on the low end of the spectrum who don't devote much time. They might drive for dollars only on Saturdays or Sundays from their typical 9 to 5, and that's okay, right? They're just getting their feet wet. But obviously, you're always going to make more money and be more immersed in real estate if you're doing this full time. You're learning while you're earning, and everyone in wholesale has to have the end goal of being a true investor, of buying their own properties, of not selling all of these properties they come across to an investor, of actually partaking in themselves, right? Believe in the product that you're selling. And this is, in my opinion, is the greatest industry to be in. 90% of all millionaires were made in real estate. There is literally no better way to learn real estate than to get into wholesaling, being the boots on the ground, and kind of being the gateway, right, to the rest of your real estate career, and having those, that generational wealth. So I hope that kind of covered a little bit of the topic, how much money I will make in real estate. You can kind of see that there's so many variables that it's not able to put a finite number on how much you're going to make, but you can definitely be very successful in wholesaling and really let that transition into your long-term generational wealth. So, hey, what's up, guys? Joe Davis here from Right Way Home Solutions. Thank you for watching our latest video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Also, press the bell, get the notifications for all future videos. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, or jump over to our website, jvtherightway.com. We have some great stuff on there. And if you have any questions relating to this video or this topic, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below. I can jump on and answer any questions, or one of our team members here at Right Way can answer any questions that you might have related to this topic. So thanks, and we look forward to seeing you on the next one.